A lot of people seem to be taking a stand these days for what they believe is right. Maybe it's something small, maybe it's something big. Recently, it was reported that a local comedian decided to cancel an upcoming show at the Improv in protest of the comedy club booking C.K. Lewis this past weekend. Lewis has been accused of sexual misconduct with multiple women. We wanted to bring in Gab Bonesso, a comedian herself, but also part of an anti-bullying campaign, and Julius Boatwright, a mental health advocate who teaches empathy. We wanted to talk about standing up, the consequences, and the rewards. And so, Gab, I know that you started at a very young age. You talk about a lot of this stuff with kids.
Yeah, I was just at St. Malachy yesterday talking to the kids about the anti-bully movement. It's very important to teach kids early on how to advocate for themselves because, you see it in the news all the time, how severe bullying and the causes of it. I mean, what can happen, as a result of bullying, so.
Well, and so it's standing up to that. It's standing up to things as adults. I feel like we are living in a time right now that is so divisive, and we see people taking a stand, whether it's publicly, vocally, a lot on social media too. So, and I don't know, what is the right thing? Is it right to keep talking about things, or is there a different approach to all of this?
I think it's important to respond with empathy. Being able to teach our kids how to be empathetic, how to develop the right coping skills, and how to not so much challenge a bully, but call them in versus calling them out. And to say, hey, what are you experiencing? What might you be dealing with that is contributing to these behaviors? And just respond empathetically. I think that could be powerful.
I do too. And I also think, especially in the case of Louis C.K., it was sexual misconduct in a workplace, and then I think being a woman comedian, and a lot of women in Pittsburgh, I think, were very triggered, especially if you've had that experience of being assaulted. And I think in that case, it is important to stand up. I think for women, it was important to say, like, hey, this is Pittsburgh. We're a city that doesn't hate, and you're bringing in this man who did these horrible things. And I know I stood up, Scott Mervis did a little piece, and the amount of hatred I've received online from men, and it is scary at times, but you do have to stand up for yourself, and what you believe in, I think.
And that brings in the whole thing about consequences, because, sometimes I think that there's a difference between standing up for what is inherently wrong or right and something that is an opinion are two different things, and for some reason it seems recently we're blurring that.
Yeah, no, I agree. Well, I think especially with Louis C.K., what was happening was everyone was making it a freedom of speech issue, and it was like, no, it's a misconduct in the workplace. But then beyond that, his recent material has been so offensive. Like, we were talking in the green room, and I was like, Julius, do you think in 1 year Louis C.K. could have changed? And I'll let you answer that.
I think everybody has the capacity to change, but if we're talking about being negligent to people who don't identify with your own beliefs, people who may appear differently than you do, that is wrong, right? We have to accept people for their beliefs and their values and just learn about people and give them an opportunity to be who they are. I think that's where it starts.
Right. I see a lot on social media, even like GIFs and memes, people saying triggered, like somebody is triggered, and almost making fun of them for feeling a certain way.
Yeah, so I'm like obsessed with YouTube, and that's like the key phrase with all YouTube, oh, triggered, and I think, if you had PTSD, it's not a joke. Like, a real trigger is so damaging and puts you into an anxiety attack, and I do think it's become this like, oh, triggered, oh yeah, that's soy milk in my Frappuccino triggered, like, what?
Right. So then how do we teach, and I think it's important to start with kids, but as adults, how do we become more empathetic to other people and what they're going through, dealing with, feeling, their opinions?
I think it just starts with always putting yourself in someone else's shoes, right? Never assuming that just because someone looks a certain way, or maybe they're not saying something or they are saying something, don't assume. Ask, give people an opportunity to tell you what they're dealing with and what they're experiencing. And when you give people a chance to share their stories, that's when beautiful things happen.
Right.
I agree. Well,
and I do think, as we're talking about social media too, I feel like a lot of times these things are pushed to a different level because people can sit there on the keyboard and type a couple sentences that are going to be hurtful.
Right.
And you don't get the full story. You don't get to have a conversation.
Right, and we don't even know, behind the keyboard, we don't even know who we're really dealing with, too. So it's like this false bravery and bullying, and I do think there is a level where you do have to start ignoring as well, though, for your own sake, you know.
Okay, well, thank you both for joining us today. I feel like we barely scratched the surface
I
with this one. There's so much to talk about, really.
There really is.
So thank you both.
Thank you for having us.
If you would like to know more about the Gab Squad, which Gab is part of, or to get more details on Steel Smiling with Julius, you can head to kdka.com/PTL for details.